And look, it's I want to just explain this. And look, I understand people get concerned. Oh well, these days assistant coaching hires are magnified. You used to not even be able to name the assistant coaches. I remember the Tiger tailgate show, which don't hate me because I had to listen to it because the daggum Gamecock tailgate show was on an AM station in Spartanburg, and it didn't even come on but for an hour. So the Tiger tailgate show used to be this 3 hour extravaganza. But you'd listen to it, and they'd have this they'd have a band or something play it, and they're like, well, offensive line coach James, what's his face? Yeah, because those guys needed the pub. Nobody knew. Offensive coordinators sort of kind of got popular for a while, but that was it. Nowadays, everything's magnified. So I understand the questions. I want to make it clear. If this guy's name was John Smith, if this guy's name was Hunter Renfro, okay, and he had decided he wanted to coach D-line and had done what Travian had done, I'd want to hire Hunter Renfro. I mean, it's you look, your best gauge as to whether a guy can coach or not is what's he doing and who's he doing it with. Okay, Georgia State, Tulane, Tulane's in the America, Georgia State's in the Sun Belt. Two places that you don't ever get the top line recruits from the South. You're in the South, but you don't get the top line recruits. Tulane is extra hard to get players because of the academics. Okay, he killed it at Georgia State. Jordan Strawn, we all know him. Well, guess who coached him up? Travian Robertson. Okay, Tulane was 2-10 in 2021. That same year, Georgia State set a school record for sacks with 38.5. Right. Tulane is 2-10. He goes to Tulane, and last time I checked, they beat Southern Cal in the Cotton Bowl and won their conference. They also beat a little team called Kansas State, which won the Big 12 this past year. And the results of that game were largely due to Tulane's defensive front lining up and whipping their ass. Okay. And that's with like 7th, 8th tier recruits that you got to kind of, and Travian didn't even recruit those guys. He didn't even have a chance to like go and identify and say, okay, I'm gonna take this guy and we'll make him into a star in 3-4 years. He inherited what he got and did it. Okay, so who else has done that on the D line during his career? Maybe Tyrone Nix, first year under Spurrier, got the most out of guys like Jordan Lindsay and Chris Tucker and Oris Lambert and the Adrian Cooley and those cats. But one Bradford Lawing, okay? Brad Lawing was the D-line coach here for 16 years through 3 different staffs. Probably the most legendary assistant in the history of Carolina football. And I know in the modern era, he's the longest tenured, although it was 3 separate occasions. Steve Spurrier Jr. will be the longest consecutively with 11 years. But, this guy, taught Travian everything he knew. Brad was the D-line coach at Georgia State, right? He unfortunately had some health issues, had to resign. Travian just got promoted, and boom, away we go. So to me, the proof is in the pudding. People ask me about recruiting, and I'll just say this. I don't have a long list of 5-star recruits he's recruited because he hasn't, because he's at Georgia State and he's at freaking Tulane, if only for a year. Didn't have a chance to make an impact. But I promise you he's going to be good. And I'll say this to the people that doubt that, some of the doubters also, including myself, we questioned Jody Wright. Why not hire a great recruiter? Well, Jody Wright is a great recruiter. Okay, he's proven it. He got Nick Harbor. Well, Sterling Lucas has never recruited. He's been in the NFL. Well, he got Nick Harbor and Desmond Umeozulu and Montague Rames. Although I got to give Taylor Edwards a lot of credit for Montague through that transition. So, look, man, and look who Sterling Lucas is in on now. So I'm going to give Shane the benefit of the doubt and Travian the benefit of the doubt on recruiting. But I know he can coach because I know how hard it is to coach at Tulane and Georgia State.